Hi. Hi. Oh gosh. There's so many incredible people here today. I feel like I feel like I'm among celebrities. There's Margaret and Darlene and Peggy and Frank and Tanya. And I just wanted to say thank you to Frank and Tanya for inviting me to think about public lunch. It's one of the works from Bonnie that's in the exhibition, and to spend some time writing about that. And coming here today to talk with you. I'm trying something a little bit different, which is that I don't have a text prepared. And partly it's because I wanted to be sort of with you as I am. And as we're invoking this idea of a kind of life frame, I thought that it would be nice to try to be with each other in a certain way, for me to be with the moment that I'm in, and for me to feel high, to feel very live. And so we might think about this kind of connection between life and the live. So this is all to say that what I'm about to get into might jump back and forth between so many different things, but let's see where we get to in the very end. When I was looking at Public Lunch and watching some of the documentation, something that came up for me was this idea of Bonnie performing with the tigers. So in this particular piece, Public Lunch at the Lion House in the San Francisco Zoo, 1971, Bonnie takes her lunch from 2 to 3 p.m. next to two tigers for an audience that was coming to really see big cats eat. And they encountered Bonnie taking her own lunch. And in the catalog essay, I talk a little bit about, or I write a little bit about this idea of performing with the tigers versus other modes of, let's say, theater performance where somebody might perform as an animal, like cats comes to mind in this way, or performing, having animals perform for audiences. Circus sort of comes to mind in this way. But what I really appreciated in Bonnie's work was the sort of the act of performing with the tigers, alongside the tigers. And it's this really simple, the preposition with, I guess, is something I want to meditate on a little bit, that I see sort of throughout a lot of her work. What is it to be with nature? What is it to be with the city? What is it to be with others? And this aspect of witness, let's say, I think is something that Bonnie came to in her questions of audience. What is it to be with others? This is a photo of my dog. His name's Jasper Rose. This is a non-human animal that I'm with a lot. And as a performance maker, I can put my artist hat on for a little bit. This is somebody that I perform with pretty regularly. And it's weird to even say perform with. I sort of just live with, I engage with, I play with. And I learn a lot from from playing with my dog. And I think back to, for example, in Public Lunch, there's a rat in a cage in the back, and afterwards Bonnie takes this rat home with her and names it Guru Rat, and Guru Rat becomes her teacher. And I think about Jasper as a sort of teacher of mine, in how we play. And this is really vulnerable and exposing, but I become very feral with my dog. Obviously he's domesticated, but there's a certain opening that I have when I play with my dog, that I learn a lot about time. I learn a lot about the possibilities of movement. I learn a lot about pacing. I learn a lot about what it is to dance with another. like an other. And we do this quite a bit. And it's in these moments, I don't have a studio. I'm not a studio artist in this way. The world is sort of my studio. So in playing with him, I'm sorting out a lot of ideas that I often bring to my classes and to a number of my performance projects. How things might shift really quickly when things become really vulnerable or when things become really tender. And trying to, find a kind of wildness with something very close to me. We've also performed together in a number of contexts. This is for a performance lecture that I did at the Yale School of Drama on a Goat Islands archive. And this is a moment when Jasper was performing at Yale, which I really like. And here he's licking honey off of my hand, which is something that he loves. And I think about when I'm with Jasper and performing with Jasper, maybe in our everyday life or in moments like this, of working with him with materials and in scenarios that he enjoys. For example, licking. He loves to lick. More recently, in Vancouver, where I'm now based, we performed in a non-human lip sync contest, and we lost miserably. But he ate a good deal of pumpkin butter out of my mouth during that time. Our lips were sort of synced in that, and for me, it's something that he really enjoys doing, is licking and licking my mouth, and we were able to put that on for some audiences. Where else could I go with that? Let's see. So with me, this aspect of withness. Another work that came to mind was Anne Carlson's Doggy Hamlet, which I had the privilege of working on for a few years. And Anne Carlson's a choreographer who has worked with animals for a good portion of her career. And in this piece, we were working with sheep and a sheep herder and some sheep herding dogs. And it's not really Hamlet, but it's sort of based on iterations. There's the story of Edward's Hotel, and there's sort of a remove from Hamlet, but we were looking at a number of ways into creating dance and thinking about the non-human animal and how we might discover certain gestural vocabulary, certain images and certain experiences by being with the sheep and being with the sheep herding dogs. And the sheep herder, when I think back to this project, a command that comes out is "with me," which is really beautiful. And it's a standard sort of dog training command, I suppose, but what I really appreciate about the "with me" is the sort of walking alongside of the sheep herder. And in thinking about Bonnie's work, particularly with animals, there is this aspect of withness that just teaches me a lot about questions of audience and questions of words like collaborator and participant are so laden and full of discourse and history, but there's something really wonderful about the very simple preposition of with. And I guess I just wanted to end with this image from the Sitting Still series, where Bonnie is sitting with a friend in a pachyderm exhibition, Cages. And just the really beautiful phrase of to sit with an idea, to sit with another, in these occasional chairs, and the ways in which something like sitting still might actually be more of a sitting with, and a sitting with space, a sitting with the other, a sitting with audience, a sitting with the moment, the life. I really appreciate thinking about this whole Sitting Still series as an occasion to continue to sit with the world around us. And I really appreciate being able to be with and sit with all of you today. So that's what I got. Thank you.